Your goal is to anger an entire fandom. How do you do it? Don't forget to subscribe for dank new videos every single day. Aww. Tell them you preferred the Avatar movie. Not only do I love what M. Night Shyamalan did with the universe, I believe the only reason a fan wouldn't like it is because they didn't understand the interpretation. Also, the casting was phenomenal. Edit, if you think I'm gonna thank some stranger for silver you can get bent. This comment is about inducing rage. Edit, fuck your gold. Edit, platinum? Not even fucking once. Edit, someone asked what it's like having platinum. I don't know, I threw it in the trash. Yup, my blood is boiling right now. Well done. Just do nothing. They'll do it to themselves sooner or later. And who has a better story than Bran the Broken? Why did you think I came all this way? I know the point of this thread, but every time I read one of these got ones I just get mad all over again. Say you dislike David Tennant. Works for multiple fandoms. Mildly get character names wrong. Man, Zelda saves that princess a lot. Why are you saying it that way? It's always been pronounced Mario.
I think Halo is a pretty cool guy. He kills aliens and doesn't afraid of anything. Swah swah swah.
Leviosa, Kamakamika, Dark Vader.
Anime? I sent it like that Japanese cartoon porn shit. Edit. To those wondering, my favorite anime in order is 1. Bible Black, 2. Boku no Pico, and 3. Cory in the House. Step aside, amateur. I prefer dubs. You don't because you can't recognize bad acting in a language you don't understand. The original Full Metal Alchemist was better. While we're on FMA, the live action movie was good. I don't like RWBY's animation. Sword Art Online. Angel Beats is nothing but boob jokes. Okabe should have been with Mayuri. Lelouch dies and I can prove it. Your waifu is shit. The manga isn't canon. Hashtag I stand with Vic. My Hero Academia has a shit plot designed for cheap laughs from dumb quirks. Avatar is an anime. Studio Ghibli is dying. Doctor Who gives a shit. Just skip to part 3. The first 2 suck. Also, refer to characters by their westernized names. Just use I started with part 5. The early parts sucked and do double duty for JoJo and Homestuck. Call a lightsaber one of those Star Trek laser swords. Star Trek. Step 1. Make an official, canonical Star Wars movie. That's it. You're set. You have angered all the Star Wars fans. Why doesn't Frodo just get on one of those birds? We hear that one often enough to not go into rage mode over it. That's the calling Star Trek Star Wars of the LOTR fanbase. A better one would be the changes Peter Jackson made in The Hobbit added so much depth to the Tolkien universe. Edit. To those asking why they didn't just ride the eagles, the short answer is the Nazgûls, Fellbeasts and Orc arrows. The long answer is Manwë is a useless Jit who only gets his hands dirty when he absolutely has to, and the eagles report to Manwë. The best part of The Hobbit was the love story. Run out of Szechuan sauce. Sorry, my IQ isn't high enough to understand this comment. Not a fandom. But if you call a Marine a soldier, they'll flip their shit. Usually Boots more than anyone. As a former Marine, I fucking hate these guys. They get so up their own ass. People say all the time that I was in the army. Who gives a shit? It's all the same thing. You were in some form of America's military. No one cares to differentiate because it's stupid. It's just a fucking job. Edit. Marines all messaging me telling me I didn't understand the Marines. Bitch, I was chesty fucking put her up in that bitch. I lived and breathed red and gold. You're just having a hard time accepting that the 4 years you spent serving Uncle Sam don't make you any more important or special than anyone else. Take your honor speeches and shove them up your ass. You're not fucking special because you got a Oceanside tattoo of death before dishonor on your forearm. Apparently Tell Tool fans the new album sounds just like the other two albums. It's prog without the talent, and metal without the energy. Holy shit. That triggered me so hard that I think I'm going to go jerk off in odd time signatures and polyrhythms. Say that I prefer Serenity over Firefly and that I'm glad they killed Wash and Shepherd book. Alternative. say that the series made more sense in the order it was aired on Fox than the actual intended order, and that it isn't Fox's fault the show got cancelled. Disclaimer: these are not my actual feelings about Firefly. Please stop swearing by your pretty floral bonnets to end me. My dudes, you're going to the special hell. I've upset Firefly fans by saying that in way. I'm glad it got cancelled, because now it'll always be good, instead of going sideways in season 4 and suffering multiple cast changes in season 6, and don't get me started on Mal's kid in season 9. Game of Thrones is Downton Abbey with wizards. Why Yu-Gi-Oh is just Magic, the Gathering for Pokemon fans. Go on the Dink Memes subreddit and say,
Minecraft,
Bad. Fortnite.
good.
it's okay if you didn't like The Last Jedi. It's also okay if you did. Not everyone has to have the same opinions about each Star Wars movie. OMG, are you trying to start a bloodbath? Tom Brady is an overrated system quarterback. The live action movie was better than the anime. Typically does the trick. Bronies are a type of furry. Wait, they aren't? Edit. Rip my inbox. They don't consider themselves to be. Most of them are actually offended to the core when you call them a furry for liking literally a cartoon animal. At Bronicon this year, some guys in fursuits came around and held up signs that say Bronies are just art furries. I'm sure they didn't get a lot of pleasant looks. Source: like the show and a small part of fandom that keeps growing smaller. Edit. Remembered it was Diet not knockoff furries. Greedo shot first. The original trilogy is so much better with the special edition updates. Go on the Free Folk subreddit and say you enjoyed the writing of D&D and can't wait for the last Star Wars movie. Edit. I think we've found something we can all agree on based on Arp's question. Send him more love. Thank you, Reddit. Stay classy. I draw Steven Universe characters slightly thinner and whiter than they appear in the show, with hints of them being in a heterosexual relationship, and then get driven to attempt suicide from the sheer amount of death threats that ensue. Tumblr is gross. Get hired by DC to write Batman. Immediately kill off Batman and the Joker. Harley Quinn becomes the new Batman. Liking The Office isn't a personality. Say that Keanu Reeves is a mediocre actor and really nothing special. Here's the thing, you're actually right. Keanu is a mediocre actor. The genius of Keanu was to realize this and become very, very careful about the kinds of roles he took. He is very good at the action movie cypher protagonist with mysterious background and little capacity for emotion, because that's the only part he can really play. But he's actually good at that one role. He's perfect in The Matrix and in John Wick because he is not asked to do anything except kick ass and look cool and quote one-liners. He's basically Stallone with less beefcake and more silent mysterious killer vibes. He also happens to be a nice guy in real life, which is also why people like him. He seems normal, approachable, not a douchebag. So, while I totally agree with you, I also understand his appeal and I think he's done a great job of picking parts that play to his strengths. If Keanu was trying to win Oscars he would be awful, but doing martial arts and shooting people he's totally in his element. Edit. Since a bunch of people are saying, well, what about movie X? He was good in that. Listen, no one said he was bad, only that he's objectively mediocre. He's fine, but he has limited range. There are lots and lots of really good actors out there, many of whom are far better with serious drama than Reeves. I think Keanu, and his agent, know this and have been very smart about the kind of roles he's taken in the last decade especially. Knowing your own strengths and weaknesses is a very important skill. Keanu is a great protagonist in an action movie, not so much in dramatic Oscar bait. Pokemon is just a cheap Digimon ripoff that would just get you laughed at though. Much easier to just say something, anything, about liking Sword and Shield or not. I'm a big Potterhead, and I think Dumbledore was a reckless and manipulative cunt. He never just straight up told anyone what was going on. He was evasive and fucking manipulative and super shady. I have never ever met another person who had the same reaction though. This is wild and I feel so seen. I actually just did this. I got into a bunch of flat earth discords, got their trust by being active, then spammed them with globe pictures. Beyonce is just okay. Actually the writing on The Simpsons drastically improved after Conan O'Brien left. Oh man, I'm so glad Stan Lee made all those characters all by himself, especially Deadpool. Pokemon fans are overreacting over the Pokemon Sword Shield Pokédex issue. It's a kid's game. Criticize Rick and Morty's lowbrow humor. The guys from BTS look the same. I said that to my sister and now she thinks the reason I hate K-pop is because I'm racist.
Well done, steak is the best choice. With ketchup.
I will ask you politely, but firmly, to leave. I apologize in advance for this. Rick and Morty is just the latest in a long line of vapid, fever dream-like television shows that rely on lazy surrealism and low-level discomfort in order to make people laugh. The writing is atrocious, the basic formula is derivative, and the humor is only appealing to naive pseudo-intellectuals who lack any tendency toward independent thought. Even a complete moron could write a basic episode outline for the show while half asleep. Morty stutters, I'm establishing the premise, Rick. Rick responds, Jesus, Morty, here's some information about that premise. Jerry says, I'm a stick in the mud. Rick says, yeah, well, I'm going to insult you. Something moderately disgusting or disturbing occurs. Morty stutters, something happened. Rick responds, that's something I know about. Bizarre Creation says, this line will be quoted out of context by the internet. Rick says, it won't actually be funny when they do it, but people will respond to the sense of familiarity. Morty responds, that was remarkably self-aware, Rick. Rick tells, it's called hanging a lantern on something, Morty, and it's a hallmark of bad writing. Bizarre Creation says, this is designed to make people vaguely uncomfortable. Jerry complains, I'm upset. Rick speaks, I'm going to insult you again, and also conclude the show in a second here. Something moderately disgusting or disturbing occurs. Morty yells, oh my god. Rick, I'm going to state the obvious. Rick responds, yeah, gross out humor mixed with random words is funny to some people. Morty ends with, hell, nice lantern, Rick. Anyone who laughed at that needs to spend more time outside, and anyone who feels like defending Rick and Morty after reading it is only proving themselves to be a petulant child who will never achieve any of the fantasies they used to convince themselves that they have potential. Once again, I apologize for that. Refer to 21 Pilots as 21 Pilots. My Little Ponies are a proxy for pedophilia. You've angered a fandom on 2 levels. Well done. Oh easy peasy. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is just okay. Thank you for watching. Smash that like button like it's a
thick booty.
And don't forget to subscribe to OKPJ Dark if you like nice things, like new videos every day. See you tomorrow.